What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down Antonio Gandy-GOLDEN. We're going to be talking about his route running, just some of the things I think that maybe he can improve on, some of the things that bigger receivers need to be able to do to improve their game and just to be a crisp route runner for his size. Okay, so let's get started. So the first clip we're going to be looking at here is he's going to be running this goal line fade against a zone corner, right? So let's watch this thing full speed. Now, this is something that I tell a lot of my guys to do, especially when you get a zone look and we have to run a fade, whether we're on the goal line, whether we're in the red zone, or whether we're just in the field, like on the 50-yard line, opposite 40, whatever it may be, okay? So let's watch this thing full speed, jab to the inside, then burst back up to the outside, strong grip, toe tap, make this catch. So main thing here is when we're coming out, right, if this DB's faced up and his eyes are in the backfield, obviously he's a zone corner, right? He's not playing this thing man. So he's going off of feel with us the entire time. So when he's going based off of feel, we got to make sure that we're really believable with my move to get any kind of reaction out of him, right? Because he's watching that quarterback's eyes. So we want to try to sell like I'm running a post. So we call this a power jab to the inside. So this power jab here is just like we're making this stick almost like a rocker step. You know, well, not so much like a rocker step, like just a regular jab, just a regular stick to the inside, like you're maybe going to break this thing off and run it out, but obviously you're going to be pushing vertical. But the head and shoulder movement is what I want you to see, right? Because when he's dropping and he's got his eyes in the backfield here, the second he starts to feel you drop and maybe starts to hear you or see out of the corner of his eye, you just start to drop your pad level or make your pad level move inside, he's going to want to make a break on this ball. So we're trying to sell like I'm just running a post right out here. Maybe my quarterback's giving it a little bit of a look to the inside, and that's drawing him in. That's going to bring him down. But you see him go here, violent head and shoulders, upper half moving. That's going to draw this DB in. You got to push up vertical and get to the back of this end zone here. This DB's already lost. And then when we go up in a situation like this in the back corner, we just got to make sure we have a strong grip. Go up and take this thing from the DB. That's a great job here by Golden running this route. Let's watch this thing full speed one more time. So again, anytime I'm running a fade against a zone corner, I got to give him something to the inside, some kind of a move to the inside, a stutter if it's in the if it works with the timing of the play, just anything to draw that DB in, get him to feel your speed, get him to feel the movement to the inside, then burst back upfield. Let's watch it again one more time. So jab to the inside, violent head and shoulders, get that DB to react because he's going off of feel, right? So now we're going to be looking at this comeback route here. We're going to be talking about just how you can be physical at the top of the route and how to get out of this route and make a play when necessarily you don't have that much separation, okay? So let's watch it here. So hesitation, 1, 2, coming out, working to restack. Now he's going to be taking 4 steps out of this break here, which I'm okay with in this situation, right? I'd rather have it be 4 than 5, and I'd rather have it be 4 than 6. Just the main thing is I want to try to avoid this kind of lean back here because it's going to make you a little bit more explosive, all right? So off the line, he has hesitation, left, right, doesn't really get too much with the DB. He's able to get hands and he's able to run with them. But right here, guys, this is so important. If we don't fight the hands and we don't work this kind of like windshield wiper, as I like to call it, this DB's just going to get hands and force us right into the sideline. And he kind of already does. I would like to get a lot more space from the sideline. But what Golden does a good job here of is getting hands, and you see how he's dipping this shoulder. He's dipping this shoulder to rip back to the inside to work to almost restack this DB, right? Just to get a little bit more space from this line of scrimmage. That's a great job here by dipping this shoulder and working back up vertical. Now, what this is going to do is this is getting him a little bit more momentum forward. This DB's a little bit taller than him, so now when we snap this thing off, we might have the advantage. So now when he breaks on this comeback, see how he's going to be going off of his inside leg here. So he goes off, or his outside leg, excuse me. He's going to be going off of his left leg. So what's going to happen there is he's going to snap, then he's going to pivot, and he's going to take 2 extra steps. So if we were to go off of, let's think about it like this. If we were to snap off of, and this is tough to think about when you maybe don't have this down 100% yet. This is going to take a lot of drill work to work it. But you watch a guy like, a good comparison, because this is a bigger guy, maybe Julio Jones, right? But Julio's a much better route runner. I mean, obviously, because he's got a lot of experience, a lot more experience. But when you watch him run a curl or a comeback or even a dig, he's going off of the leg that's like his, in this situation, it's his inside leg because it's a comeback. But if he were to run like a curl, let's say, he'd be going off of his outside leg, right? Because it eliminates an extra step. Because you see, if we go off of my inside leg here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's coming off this thing in 4 steps. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 rather than 1, 2, 3, right? If I eliminate that first step, and I just go off of my outside leg, if I just go off of this leg right here rather than getting that extra step to the inside, I just go snap, pivot, drive, and you're out of this thing. And then you're out in 3 steps. So that's something that receivers can work on over time. You got to really work that with drill work. It's going to be very hard to just go out there and run this route. You got to build up to that, obviously. But I'd rather have 4 steps than 5. Okay, so now here's the thing that might slow him down a little bit at the top. You see when he drops down, he's kind of trying to turn out of this break rather than run out of this break, okay? So you see how he's kind of picking his chest up and he's almost opening his head around instead of going forward. Now, the thing about this is you see he kind of slows down into the break and it's not so much explosive when he drops, right? So I want to be able to be here, and when I snap down, I don't want to necessarily sit my butt back and get my feet out in front of me. Reason being is because I start to lean back with my chest and I'm a little bit slower. When I snap down, I want to be violent as I can with my hips, but I want to try to bring my chin to my knee, right? So I want to be going forward. Reason for this is because if we're going forward and we don't lose any speed, that DB is going to be running with us. And when I'm able to drop on a dime like that rather than slowing down and kind of cruising into this break and being soft here, this DB is going to be shooting by because we're still selling vertical and I'm able to run around it. You want to think of it like there's a cone right here and you want to snap, pivot, drive, and you're getting all the way around the cone, like you're running in and you're running out. That's what you hear a lot of great receivers talk about, is that they don't just run into the route, they run out of the route as well. You run in, you create energy at the top, and then you run out. And when we lean back a little bit, that's something that you can't really do. But again, I'd rather have 4 steps than 6 steps, 7 steps, whatever it might be, okay? So I'd rather have that. But you see how his hand almost touches the ground here? That tells me that he's opening up and leaning back just a little bit too soon. So that's something that you receivers can learn from, not to lean back on a break like this, because we lose explosion. We always want to be going forward and accelerate out and drive out. But he does a pretty good job running back the ball and then making this catch in traffic. And you see, it's hard for a DB to react when we drop down like this, especially when we get rid of steps. Now, just imagine if he pushes and sells vertical a little bit longer. Imagine if he's a little bit more violent with his hips and gets rid of 1 extra step and his feet give him some more explosion so he could drive out of this thing. It would be a lot more separation. So that's just one thing that you receivers can do. And you're not going to be able to just walk right out on the field and do it in a one-on-one scenario. It's built over time. It's built with reps, built with muscle memory. Okay, so let's watch this thing one more time. Not a bad job coming back to this ball and making this catch. 4 steps. I'm all right with it in this situation. It's tough when you got a guy being physical with you to obviously think about your feet so perfectly, but it comes with time, guys. It comes with just reps upon reps and just building. Let's watch it again one more time. So pushing up vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Accelerate out of this thing. You see how well he runs out of it. That's something bigger guys need to be able to do on their route. So now we're going to talk about, again, our hands throughout the route. He's going to be working this fade. So he's going to be doing that same kind of hesitation 1, 2. Doesn't really get a lot of space. But getting a DB's hands off of you guys is so important. Because you see how he's here, and he's not afraid of contact. That's the main thing I want to get out of this. I think bigger receivers, but just all receivers in general, we can't be afraid of contact. If I'm not afraid of contact, I'm not going to be startled by this press or when a DB decides to get physical, right? So he kind of gives him this hesitation jab. DB doesn't really bite on it. Now he's just getting fade, right? Jam him with this off arm. Now I got to take an outside release here. I got my outside release, but I want to make sure that I get separation, make it easier on this quarterback right here. So I got to be physical with my hands, and I really want to make sure that when he's here and he's jamming me with this offhand trying to wall me into the sideline, my left arm is as physical as I can, and I'm swatting him down and working that windshield wiper. And you see, when I swat him down and I get him to be in this pad level position off balance because I'm physical with my hands, I'm getting his hands off of me. All I got to worry about is accelerating up, keeping my head down, driving my arms, and catching this ball over the top. That's an easy ball for the quarterback. That's all I'm trying to get out of this, guys, is we just can't be afraid of contact. Let's watch it again one more time. So coming off here, work that windshield wiper, swat him off, make sure we're physical. Don't be afraid of the contact. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. And if you're a receiver and you want to get better football IQ, you want to get better at knowing what the DB is going to do, knowing different defensive techniques the DBs, safeties, linebackers play, check out that link in the description that says how to read defenses. And guys, please leave in the comments any questions you guys have. I'll make sure to get back to you. I'll see you guys next time.